I've read that it's the closest thing to experiencing death.
We're speaking of a near-death experience that it transforms lives. Your ego kind of shuts down for the accident normally, and then you wake up.
How did you go from living in Finland, coming all the way across the world, and now you're treating people with trauma?
So I was unhappy for the meaningless life, trying to make some money. I get rid of anxieties, made really amazing investments, made me a multi-millionaire. I had the opportunity to sit back and see what could I do to serve others because the money was meaningless.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Dr. A. He is the facilitator and owner of the world's foremost psychedelic treatment center in Tulum, Mexico. And we are going to be discussing how a substance known as Bufo, or the toad, can change your life. So, Dr. A, thanks for joining us, man. You doing okay today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
We're hearing about Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tyson, all these CEOs. They're flying down to Mexico and they are smoking this substance that is changing their life. Why are they coming down there and what are they experiencing that's resulting in these dramatic changes for them?
Well, I believe they're coming back down to Mexico because it's criminalized in the US and many other first world countries, if you want to use that word. And here in Mexico, it's not regulated in any way. We are a new land of free.
And why are they taking it?
Well, it's a guaranteed way to experience something that will open your eyes to see beyond what the normal eyes can see.
So how did you go from living in Finland to coming all the way across the world, and now you're treating people with trauma and PTSD and depression? How did you get into this business and what happened in your life to bring you there?
So I was back in Finland 15 years ago working in the office work, and that I never really felt it right for me for the many rules and limitations. And so I was unhappy. Relatively successful, you would say, with a master's degree and with a great university or not. But I just have had the opportunity to take 3 months half-paid vacation in the 2008 crisis. And I wanted to explore Latin America, and I came down to Mexico, which I loved, and started to sing what to do, how can I make my living. Years went past for looking ways to, I did many little startups, mostly failures, and just to make money, because I hadn't really found my real mission yet. Until I just, in an Ayahuasca session, I was mentioned about the Bufo, and it intrigued me so much that I looked for someone to share it with me, and that really was life-changing. I get rid of anxieties and little depression that was already starting for the meaningless life, trying to make some money to get by. So everything started flowing very much better. I made really amazing investments right after in Ether resale, and that made me a multi-millionaire within a few years. And then really I had the opportunity to sit back and see what could I do to serve others, because the money was meaningless already at that point. And that's how I figured out that what helped me so much, it's something that I really wanted to share.
We hear about people back in the 60s, they were taking LSD. And then I guess probably about 10 or 15 years ago, we started hearing about people taking ayahuasca for similar reasons. They wanted to get beyond some mental block, or they have some kind of trauma that they're getting free from. And now people are moving to Bufo. Why do they find it more effective than the other substances?
Well, Bufo induces complete breakthrough from this 3D world in meaning that you will lose the notion of time and space completely for about 15 to 20 minutes. That allows your subconscious mind to process whatever needs to get processed, and that's the difference. It's the God molecule, it's the 5-MeO DMT, whereas ayahuasca is NN-DMT that they call a spirit molecule. It's very different kind of experience.
So the Bufo doesn't last as long, and it seems like it's much more powerful. So people are getting better results and they're suffering less discomfort. Is that correct?
5-MeO is the key substance that is found in the secretion of Bufo Alvarius toad that we call Bufo. And so, yeah, it's basically the only natural source of it. And mostly because of the way of how it's ingested. It's through inhalation. We vaporize it in a ceremony and we inhale it. It goes through the lungs directly to our bloodstream, and that's the reason why it's short living experience. It's about only 15 to 20 minutes, whereas ayahuasca, you drink it and it goes through your digestion slowly by slowly. And that's why it's like a longer arc of the experience and not so direct and complete breakthrough as with the 5-MeO when you inhale it. You can also inhale this NN-DMT that is called spirit molecule. And in that case, the experience is short as well. Not the same as in intensity as 5-MeO, but similar in length, about 20 minutes.
Why do they call it the toad?
Toad is the underground species. There are hundreds of different toads, but this Bufo alvarius is unique because it carries in its glands this natural perfect blend of around a dozen tryptamines, of which the 5-MeO is the one we call the God molecule. Whereas Bufo, curiously, it's not ancestral really at all. It's been discovered in the 80s. Also, the way we apply it also just a very ancestral. It's not the tradition, because you really need to have a modern good lighter torch to vaporize it in sufficient quantities, and the glass pipe also that is not super ancestral.
So would you walk me through what the ceremony is like?
Well, it lasts an hour and a half because we want to guarantee the breakthrough experience. Sometimes it takes a couple tries, couple inhalations. We can do that in an hour and a half easily. Sometimes within an hour we finish. There will be one female and one male facilitator, safeguarding your physical integrity. And we have a safe space. We have a tatami where people might release their traumas. Some people, they shake. Some people, they start hitting the ground or moving very strongly around. And must be safe space. You cannot have any sharp edges there or any objects that you might hit yourself into. We do it inside this Native American teepee, where we can hold this experience safely, and and we put some background frequencies to soothing music, and we clean the space with copal to begin with, and we start with the prayer also. It's like a universal prayer for world peace and healing that the patient repeats, and then it's just 3 test inhalations, and then one slow of 10 seconds. You take the medicine in, and 3 seconds later, you just lose this notion of time and space, and then the following 15 minutes, whatever reactions might occur, we are prepared to take care of that. And some people don't react at all outwardly, and we need to ask if they ever even went out. But and some people, they clearly do react. So it's very, very depending on what everyone is carrying inside, how much of a trauma, how much of a shift it would be in their worldview, and how much struggle it's going to be accepting. But it's all about surrendering to this universe and its flow. And I noticed that males tend to scream a little bit more often. It's not super common, but maybe 15% are very, very loudy, whereas females, it's much less. And then people come back to their senses within 20 minutes, and they are just full of peace and gratitude, which is a very, very important also key for a good life.
So you bring them into this teepee, you play music, you say a prayer, they inhale the medicine, and you get a variety of reactions, and then they come back, and at that point, so I've read that it's the closest thing to experiencing death. Like people that have experienced death say the same, that this is the same experience. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. We're speaking of a near-death experience that is commonly known, normally transforms lives because it gives you a new chance. Your ego kind of shuts down for the accident normally, and then you wake up. So it's very similar, but this can be induced by this 5-MeO DMT very safely, and has pretty much the similar benefits.
What's like a very dramatic reaction? What's some of the worst things that you've seen people respond with when they inhale the Bufo?
Some people, they hit the ground. We need to put pillows even on the top of the tatami. It's for some anger issues. Some people might get scared, but we serve so big dose that they break through and they go over that fear state, because the fear happens when the people really, their ego starts to resisting the letting go, and so it's not so common. But if someone has some trust issues, they might, and if they don't inhale it properly, they might get a little afraid. And it has happened that someone's tried to run out of the TV and we need to hold them back.
Keep hearing this term in regards to psychedelics and these medicines, ego death. What is ego death, and what is the benefit of experiencing that?
Well, it's this basically the same like described the complete dissolution and loss of the notion of time and space. Everything merges into one, and once you wake up, you don't know how long time passed, what happened, where were you, but you were unaware of the time and space, and that's our ego basically limits us into this 5 senses that we can perceive in a natural, normal state of consciousness. And this closes that part of brain. Probably that's what happens for those 15 minutes, that you can really go deeper and perceive, probably through the third eye, the world.
If we were to say that the top 3 people that would benefit, so it's people with anxiety, people with addictions, and people with depression. Is that correct?
Yes, pretty much. Very, very common problems in these days, and very effectively anxiety and depression can be very guaranteed, can be fixed.
Do you find people no longer need their medication after they experience Bufo?
Absolutely. We can get rid of the medication for anxieties, for depression. It's what we do here every day for 6 years now, and it's guaranteed basically.
So it's almost guaranteed that if someone comes in there taking anxiety medication, that they won't need it after this experience.
Yes.
And when we talk about special interests, that's going to affect the pocketbooks of pharmaceutical companies, and so we see them, I assume, trying to prevent further exploration or further proliferation of these medicines.
Yeah, you name it. Of course.
Do you ever have any encounters when you're providing this medicine and treatment in Mexico? Is it just hands off? They don't interact with you in any way?
Yeah, that's been the case. Luckily, it's we are not stepping on anyone's toes. I mean, not even the cartels, and much less about the cartels, because they don't deal with these things that gets people of the addictions. They sell cocaine that it's a better business for those cartels, because they, it's the same with the big pharma cartel. They like the frequent client that keeps buying the same pills every month. We do this once and we get people rid of those addictions. And that's the only way we step on anyone's toes or threaten their business. But it's not such a direct threat that nobody will make a problem.
Do you have any way, like online, where people can see what a ceremony looks like?
On our website, there is little clips of but we didn't want to put the pipe even in there because it might have some resemblance of some drug use.
Yeah. Okay.
We use this kind of crystal pipe, but it's the medicine is completely different, and it's no point of calling it a drug in any way.
And where can people find more about you and your business?
Go to the Bufo Alvarius Sanctuary.com. You can find it very easily also in Google. If you just search for Bufo Alvarius, that is the name of the toad, our center pops up pretty fast. And the domain is Bufo Alvarius Sanctuary.com.
Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure talking to you. And I recommend everyone look up Dr. A at the Bufo Alvarius Sanctuary Center and check out and see if this is right for you. He's changing the world one person at a time, and take interest in it because it seems like that the future is pointing more and more towards this as a healing medicine. Thank you so much, Dr. A.
Thank you, Brady, my friend, amigo. Hope to see you soon again.